Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. So let me
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So let me quickly share a quick presentation.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
sir.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with the topic that is innovation and entrepreneurship. So when Vishwal sir actually asked me to take a topic or something for all the new joinees, so I was thinking that what topic actually I can give it. I think they all right now are aware about the market. They know about the technology. They all know about the corporate things. But let me tell something with my experience that is on innovation and entrepreneurship. So I hope this session is going to be helpful for all of you. And after this session, I'm sure that we all will find a different personality among you and about your thinking related to innovation and entrepreneurship. So let's start with this. So it's all about your V strain, right? So I'm sure you all have joined the engineering, the BTech or MCA or MTech. So this is all your rupees, right? And definitely many of you have a dream, or it used to be there from the childhood that you want to be, an engineer, or you want to do something with respect to technology. So that's all. That is the reason you joined or you chosen this course and study. Or maybe there could be possibility that your parents maybe have asked you, that this is a common thing that my child want to be should be engineer or doctor. That's how all the Indian parents, that's how they think. And that is probably all these reasons you all have chosen this subject as an engineering. So if I ask you that why you want to be engineer or what you want to do with your life, definitely a lot of answers is going to come. Maximum, I think you all will be answering that job. Some of you might be saying that I want to be scientist. Maybe some of you might say that entrepreneur. So I think maybe very few are going to say that I have to be entrepreneur, because that is what the trend which everybody, which others have done, and we just want to follow the same path, that we want to do something, we want to study. After that, let's say I'm getting some salary or getting some job, and then I want to get some kind of job in any of the MNC or any of the startup, and I want to do this thing, right? So now why you want to do this or how you want to do it? So probably you're thinking that, I will go through all this course, whatever the duration it is, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. You want to secure some good marks, you want to study, you want to do some projects, and you want to get hired and by some company. It could be the private sector, could be government sector, and you want to get some big package salary. Am I right? So, yeah, so this is what generally, we think that, this is how it is going to continue, and this is what the path we are going to follow so that we will reach our goal. So this is just a wake-up call that it's not the truth. The way we just now we discussed, it's not going to happen the same way, or it's not going to be so easy during this procedure. Okay. So when I say why it is not going to be easy, because I personally, let me give a quick intro about myself. So I have been, I was the alumnus in COIB, and in fact, we were the first batch in 1999. And the way you all have joined, same way I also joined, and I had also a dream that I want to do something, and we started study and all those things. But unfortunately, the whole Indian education system, the way it is right now structured, it is actually it is not up to the standard what the corporates are looking for, or the way innovation is happening in the Western world. So, for example, when actually I after I study, when I came, then I started doing some kind of job, initial jobs, and in fact I started my salary with only 4,000 rupees. Okay, and I started learning the things. And that time when we came out, we were seeing that people who want to do certain business or they wanted to become entrepreneur, they used to be after working in the industry, probably after 10-20 years or something like that. After going to US, they have some money, they want to start some business. So that time people were thinking that somebody want to do some entrepreneurship, you need to certain time, you need a lot of experience, then you can do it. But after, I think I worked into some of the bigger companies like Mascon Global, Samsung, the R&D centers and all. After 5 years, I ventured a company called Fusionex in 2008, and I was running for nearly 10 years. and we had almost 200 plus employees globally. And during that time, we did a lot of applications for startups, which became really large. If I want to name few, one is Big Basket, second is Byju's classes. I'm sure you must have heard about it. So we were the guys who actually built those applications for nearly 4 to 5 years, which became successful in the market. And after that venture, we that it was it was acquisition. So there was another company which took over. After that, I started my second venture, that is DX Minds, since last 3 years. So based on my experience, after that, when we were doing I was into the business. So what I saw here is, even it is not, people were not waiting for that. Even a lot of outside, if you see, they actually become entrepreneur even in the college possible. Even some of them actually were dropped out from the college and they just did this. So now the way the market is going, the way innovation is happening, it is actually expected that, or we are going to see many of the young entrepreneurs maybe from the college time itself, and this is going to be huge success in the market. So that is something which all the world, everybody is looking towards all of you. Okay, so that is what my experience. So based on my experience, I want to probably put my experience in 5 lessons. Okay, so that you guys can go ahead and change the whole world. Okay, so let me start with the first lesson. So the first lesson is about make meaning. Okay, so if you want to think about make meaning, so what is meaning? Make meaning means uh, if you want to do some entrepreneurship, you want to do some innovation, don't think that I want to get money, huge money. That's the reason I want to do the innovation or I want to do entrepreneurship. It should not be that way. If you think that way, you definitely may not able to get that sort of money. You will not able to do an innovation. You will not become an entrepreneur. So when I say make, first you think about make meaning. That means to give, probably let me explain you with respect to the real world. So if you think about Apple, so Apple actually they wanted to define the entire computer world, the way people use the computer, the way people touch, the way people use the entire computers. They want to change bring the vision in this computer industry. Okay, so that is what, when we talk about Apple, that is what it is coming to the mind, and that is what their vision was. The second, when I talk about some of the other examples, let's say YouTube. So they want to bring disruption in video segment. Okay, if you think about another example, similarly, let's say Amazon or eBay, they wanted to bring change with respect to the commerce or the e-commerce, basically, right? So that is what the meaning of the make meaning. So anything you, because everything starts with an idea, right? So when you think about an idea, so first you have to think, can I change the world, the way people are using the things? We don't, not necessarily you need to think about an idea which is for the future. You should not think about the future. You should think about the present scenario. So in the present scenario, can I do something to change the world, the way people are thinking, the way people are doing? So if you think that way, then you can say that, yes, I have a good idea. Okay. So the second point I want to talk about is be innovative. Okay. So when I say innovative, so before that, we want to understand that what is innovation is all about. So innovation means, the innovation is the specific tool of entrepreneurs, the mean by which they exploit change as an opportunity for a different business or a different service. So I think it is self-explanatory, but let me explain you a little more in detail. So when you talk about innovation, it's basically a tool, okay, for the entrepreneurs by which they adopt or they exploit the change they see the change and they take it as an opportunity to create different business model or to come up with a product or different services. To give certain example, let's say in India, if you see, when the GST came. So when the GST came, previously there was no GST concept. There was VAT and few other things were there. Now, when government actually announced the GST, there are a lot of companies they came up with the solutions for the GST so that all the softwares can be migrated to support the GST. So what they saw is they saw the opportunity and then they try to utilize that opportunity to come up with the innovative ideas. The same way, if you talk about, let's say, there is so many things happening. If we talk about government sector, let's say the Swachh Bharat, right? That is another thing which is happening. If you think about current scenario, the pandemic scenario, the COVID-19, everything has moved from offline business to online. So that is actually, if you think about, that is actually a big opportunity. So by using this opportunity, there are so many people, so many companies, entrepreneurs, they are innovating, they're coming up with different ideas, and then coming up with the product or solutions or the services. So that is what the meaning of innovation. So if it is something is already there and you want to do the same thing, me too kind of things, it's not innovation. You're not doing an innovative thing. It is every other people are doing, you are also doing the same thing. But I'm not talking about the domain. But if it is something is already there, but probably people are not thinking, how to make it better way or move to the next curve, then you see there is an opportunity, and then you can actually come up with that. So that's called innovation. So I say that it is three I's. Okay, when I talk about innovation, it is nothing but three I's. The first is idea. Okay, so idea, I'm sure everybody is having idea, right? Yeah, I'm sure when you see different kind of things happening surrounding to you. Okay, not necessarily in the software, it could be hardware, it could be anything else, it could be whatever you see on a day-to-day life, right? So you probably definitely come up with a lot of ideas in your mind. Okay, can it be something like this? But you really need to really validate whether this idea is viable to make come up with a solution or a product. Okay, now if you see if you see some of the nowadays, basically if I see the IDs, the students and all, what they're doing, they are coming up with a lot of ideas, they're doing implementing it, and after that there are a lot of companies, they're coming and maybe they're buying this IP, they may be taking to the next level, even they're getting funded inside the organization. There could be so many things happening this way. But when I look back my old days, or even if I see in general in India, different engineering colleges, it is actually the curiosity should come from the students. It's not that the teachers can only say that this is what you have to do it. So because we all have ideas, it just needs a proper implementation and right tools so that you can do something. Okay, so generally when I see people want to do something as a, for example, project, I'm sure you will have the one or two different type of projects would be there in your curriculum, but people mindset is I want to do some project where maybe I can copy from somebody else, I want to do something, or maybe just for marks purpose, getting the mark. Let all everybody's mentality is how can I score mark, right? That is what actually people think. But when they come out, the expectation is completely different. So even I have been every day I've been recruiting people, and I have been meeting a lot of people. My team has been doing a lot of recruitments. But when we see the freshers, we generally they come out from the colleges. But when we compare with the current market, what we really need, there is a big gap is there. Okay. And if you compare with the IT students and all, why it doesn't happen, whereas big companies come and take from them? It's because they actually do a lot of innovative things and entrepreneurship things. Already it is there. It is part of their curriculum, or they actually do those things. So that is something which I see there is a big gap, which we, if you all want, it is possible. It's not that it is not, impossible. So we will talk on these things after next slides. So the first thing, as I said, the idea, you really need to think if this idea is really great and this is something with serving some of the present needs of the market, and it is something innovative. If you have that, get it validated with different people before jumping to anything else. You really need to think whether can it be converted. Is it something serving some purpose, some market? If it is solving, you can actually get into that to the next step. So next I is all about implementation. So if you just have an idea, but if you don't implement it, then there is no use. Everybody having ideas. In fact, as a software company, we also come across every day with many entrepreneurs. So they come with just an idea, but we see that the idea is not good. Sometimes it is great ideas, but they don't know how to implement it. So the second thing is the implementation. So implementation, when you talk about, you have to build that, right? So not necessarily that you need to learn all the things from day one itself. Okay, you can continue with your study based on whatever curriculum you are having, but you should make a, first of all, a team is required. You what you can do is you can create a team among yourself, make a co-founding team, and then you can implement those ideas. You can learn, focus more into those subjects. You can yourself can learn it, get some advice, and you can build it. Okay, and when you still have a lot of time, and it is a good thing that we are having this session so that it is getting into your mind, so that you start all these things from the day one itself. You start thinking about it, you start doing it. So not, as I said, you might be thinking that I have to learn all the things, I have to learn all the programming languages, I have to learn everything. I have to learn probably the hardware related things. I have to know about IoT. I have to know about machine learning. I have to know. No, it's if you have something idea, you want to do something, you actually can do by yourself. There are a lot of study materials that are available. There are YouTubes. There are so many other things that are available in things. You yourself actually can implement it. It's not something which is impossible. Okay, so unless until this is implemented, there is no meaning of the idea. Okay, so that's why second is implementation. The third thing is impact. Okay, so if you have done the idea, if the implementation is done, but it is not going to impact any of the society, or could be existing market or product or anything else, then there is no use of it, right? So you need to think in a direction that can it be implemented or get used by somewhere else, or if is it adding some value to the society or the needs. So if it is fulfilling that demand, then that's nothing but the impact. Okay, so these three things becomes the whole innovation. So if that is how I have been, I put it across, that idea plus implementation becomes the invention. Okay, that means you invented that, or you made that. So but invention, it is up to the lab level, or it is up to your level. And when impact is getting added to the invention, it becomes innovation. Okay. All right. So next is we will have a question and answer session after this. So that you can keep your questions ready. Not a problem. So next is the myth and reality of innovation. So there are a lot of people, they think little wrong way. There are a lot of myths are there, and what is the actual reality? So first thing is the innovation begins with creativity. A lot of people thinks that innovation begins with creativity. You may think that no, I am not so creative guy. Now how can I do some innovation? That's wrong. That's not the true thing. So what is innovation? Actually, innovation begins with curiosity. Okay, you need, if the questions are coming to your mind, what, how, when, if this kind of curiosity is coming in between you, that means from there the innovation begins. So it not necessarily that you know everything or you are so much creative, talented person, then only you can do the innovation. It's not that way. Okay. The second is the innovation is a smooth linear process. If you think that okay, this is what my plan, this is my idea, I will get it implemented, then I will go to the market or I'll show to somebody, and then probably so it's not that smooth process. It's not that smooth process. Okay, so any product to get successful or you can make it happen. First of all, it is actually a series of experiments required. Okay, it's an iterative process. So that's the thing what I'm talking about here, that innovation is iterative and the outcome of a series of experiments. So if you have to keep on experiment, there could be some mistakes. You have to do it. So you should not get worried of anything that oh, I have done it, no, I failed. It's not that way. You keep on trying, you keep on doing it, then the final output is going to be best. So even though if you think about, let us say, Apple also, they have not come up with the best product on the day one itself, right? It's all slowly they came up with the new things, they added. That's how right now what we see Apple or any other company product, if you see, they are right now at that place. All right. So next is which is most interesting. People think that innovation is about risk taking. Okay, so it's not 100% true. I could say that effective innovation involves calculative risk taking, assessments, and mitigations. So you should take a calculative risk. It's not be you should take 100% risk. I'm saying that yes, it is entrepreneurship or any innovation you are doing it. There is a risk factor is there. Product may fail, but you should take a calculative risk. You should understand that if I do this, if it doesn't happen, what should I do? What is the backup plan I have? Can I do on top of this so that this is going to be successful? So you need to have, and then when you take a risk, you should take your measures, do the assessments, and you can mitigate the risk. So if you have those plans, it can definitely happen. So next thing is get entrepreneurship skills. Okay, so this is most important. I think even though you don't have any plan to become entrepreneur or you just want to do probably a job or you want to become scientist, you want to do anything else in your life, but you really need to have the entrepreneurship skill. So entrepreneurship skill doesn't mean that you really need to be an entrepreneur, but these skills are going to be helpful in whatever you do in your life. Okay, so who is an entrepreneur? Okay, so let me just give some example. Let's say you have to arrange some event. I'm sure you would have already arranged different type of events. It could be a family related events, could be wedding, could be a small party, could be kind of friends get together, could be anything else, right? So that is also an event. Now when you think about this event, there are a lot of things you have to understand about that event and you have to do it, right? By knowingly or unknowingly, you have already done it, right? So it could be reaching out to the people, coordinating with different sort of people. Then it could be arranging the funds for the event. It could be doing some expenses. It could be if it is a bigger event, probably do certain kind of marketing so that people understand more about it. They come there. So there could be a lot of branding and so many things. You have already done that, right? So the same way, when we talk about the entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur? So the first thing comes to the mind that who organizes a business. Okay. So when you talk about organizes a business, there are a lot of things involved into it. So it could be talent acquisition, it could be working with the other co-founders, it could be getting the customer, it could be arranging the funds, it could be building a tech team, building so many things actually it involves. So basically the person who organizes the whole business, that is nothing but the entrepreneur. The second is who manage the business, and the third is who takes the risk. So the entrepreneurs are the most risk takers. They love to take the risk. Okay. So that is about the entrepreneur. All right. So next is the questions you might be, coming to your mind that how do I arrange the fund? Because anything I want to do, it could be a small, product. It could be anything I want to do. I need definitely fund, right? Without fund, whatever it could be, minimum fund. It could be 10,000 rupees. It could be 1 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees. It could be anything else. That definitely need a fund. Without fund, it is not possible, right? So how do I arrange these funds? And most important is how do I get my mentorship? Who is going to guide me if I want to do really something like this? So there are a lot of options are available. One is it could be self funded, or you can actually start with a small thing with your own fund. And as I said, entrepreneurship or is any product, it is a teamwork. It cannot happen by independently. So you definitely need your other co-founders. So it could be, let's say, probably you need to build some kind of robotics then, or you want to build some IoT hardware device, or you want to do some software which is, let's say, going to change the way people think about the travel industry. Let's say something bigger than Uber or something. I'm just giving some, throwing some ideas. I don't know. But when you think about these kind of things, definitely you need certain fund to have it, right? That maybe definitely you are people who are going to work on this, but definitely you need something. So it could be up from other co-founders. Let's say there is total investment maybe required, let's say 2 lakhs rupees, for example. Maybe you have 5 people or 6 people together. You can put that and you can actually build this kind of things. It could be families, and there are, as a next step, there are some of the places where the incubators are there. Even some of nowadays, a lot of institutions, they actually have the incubators inside the organization itself. Maybe, who knows, maybe you have a great idea, product idea, you have done a little bit of POC or something, you can actually show to those incubators, or maybe inside your organization, I'm not sure. But yeah, so definitely from there also, you can get not only the funds, even the mentorships as well. You can also get it. Okay, and coming to the mentorship, you have your best mentors in your college. So your teachers are the best mentors. They can guide you. There would be a lot of alumni because in these so many years, so many people are already into good things. Probably if you talk about AI, there may be some people already in the data scientist in different big companies. There could be, embedded side. You may find people. You may find, IoT side. You may find for mobile application. It could be any industry. I'm sure there will be a lot of, alumni who can really guide you. There could be industry experts who can actually guide you. So there are a lot of ways people can actually mentor you as well. So the next thing is why this is important. When I say entrepreneur skill, why this is so important. So first thing is this actually help us to recognize the economic opportunities and act upon them. And this includes the inner discipline, ability to take risk, being innovative, change oriented, and persistent. Okay, and obviously the technical skills help in producing a successful business product or service. So you will be getting a lot of, if you do this exercise, okay, during this your college time, you will actually find yourself a different person altogether. You will find a kind of a inner discipline will be, you'll suddenly you see that you are already fully disciplined. You will be a risk taker. You will be innovative. So I'm not saying that you need to completely leave your study and you have to do it. But what I'm saying here is you need to create a passion towards it. You start doing it. I'm sure you will, so that you are preparing yourself for the future. Okay. Obviously, the studies, whatever it is there, it is required for you to score the mark. That is all fine. But simultaneously, when you get into that, after some time you will realize that actually knowingly or unknowingly you actually became master into so many technology areas. Okay, so those are the things. So yeah, so and all these skills what I'm talking about you here, it is not only going to be helpful if you want to be entrepreneur, you want to continue not only there, even you want to become a manager in a company in the future, or when you join any company, everywhere it is going to be helpful. As an independent person in your life, it's going to be helpful. So I would say that this entrepreneur skill is must, which it is there inside you. You just need to use it, or start using it in the real life, then you can see the difference. So the question might come to your mind that what benefits I'm going to get. Let's say I'm doing all this exercise during my study. What is that I'm going to get? So if you really good, maybe the IP which you are creating, even at a market level, probably you can IP license it. You can license to. There are a lot of companies that look for this kind of solutions or IP. For example, in our company also we look for the students where they have done some innovative products. And if we find this kind of innovative product, maybe we can take those IPs and as a license way, or maybe you can sell this product or IP itself to a bigger company which actually can pay and then they can take it down. Or you want to actually continue, you can do that as well. So you can take to the next level, and then you can find a lot of seed investors or angel round of funding, you can get it, and then you can take it to the next level. Okay, and the most important is this: you are going to get it. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the change is the only constant. So what happens is, this is what actually we have seen that people fail. This is not the major reason because they don't want to change. Just an example, I just told you that everybody has already told you that this is what the success path you have to follow. You have to finish the schools, you have to come to some graduation, you have to do it, then you have to apply for a job. I'm happy with I'm getting 10k, 20k, 30k per month. I'm happy with that. My things are taken care, and then I'll continue in this way. This is how others have done. This is what I want to do it. It is because the thing is, I'm hesitating to change myself. I'm hesitating that no, I don't want to try different way. I want to try the same way which people are doing it, right? So I want to say that you really need to change. Is the only constant. That means everything only constantly change, remaining all is changing. Some of the products failed in the market. The major reason is this. If you think about Nokia, why they failed? It is because they didn't change. They didn't adapt to the new technologies or new things which was happening in the market. So, for example, Android came, right? Android first actually they offered to Nokia, but they didn't. They say no, we are happy with Symbian which we are doing. But unfortunately, that didn't take off well. Whereas others, Google bought it and then made all these things you all know about it, right? So because what happened is they didn't change with the time. So if we don't change, then we are going to face a big problem. So now let's talk about the resistance to change, right? So why we are thinking, why we're not changing? What is making us stop to change? The first thing is ignoring the ideal. So maybe let's say you have come up with some brilliant idea. You are talking to your parents. Okay, see, I have done this kind of things. I've done this research. I want to do something on this. They just listen to you and say that, okay, yes, it is good. Let's you focus on your college and focus on your tuitions and get good mark. So what is happening here? The ideas are get ignored, right? So that is one thing. The second is the fear of failure. We always have fear that no, if it fails, right? So that is what always making us taking back that no, we don't want to do anything. We want to save our thing always, right? So that is the second thing. That third thing is the inertia. Inertia means I can't do it, or it's not possible by me. I can do it. You really need to remove that knot. You need to have a self-confidence that I can do it. Okay, so that is something which you need to have in your mindset. And then the lack of confidence, which most of us will have the confidence that can I do something like this? Is it possible? So that is the confidence again. It is so. It is. But actually, if you see, you all really can do it. I can tell you right now that you all have potential to become the next entrepreneur. You just need to enlighten yourself. You just need to believe in yourself. You just need to do it. Not necessarily the money, the other things, whatever it is there, it is going to come automatically. But if you have a zeal in inside yourself, you have a confidence, then definitely you can beat the whole world. You can change the whole world. Okay. And my last thing, which I want to talk about, that is don't give up so easily. As an entrepreneur or as an innovator, you may face a lot of challenges when you do it. There are, in fact, myself, and if I talk about myself, I have seen in my life, there is situations has come, there is two ways: quit, continue. Quit, continue. But I have always chosen continue. The quitting, it is very easy. You just take a decision today, quit, you can quit it. But people who have become successful don't think that it is, they have, their life has gone very slow, steady. It's not that way. Okay. I always used to tell that if there is a road and in that road I'm just driving myself, it is just a plain road and I'm just sitting in my car, I'm just driving. There is no fun in this. Do you feel the fun? I don't feel the fun. So it is just, I'm just sitting and driving. What I'm doing here? But I really like if it is a kind of bumpy road going inside the hill. There is a real challenge. So entrepreneurship life is something is all about it. But you will always get this chance, give up or continue. So always you have to try yourself to continue, because so these are the points which I have mentioned here, that it takes many iterations for one success. Okay, so whoever has got success in their life, they have seen actually there are a lot of failure they have seen. Then only they have come to the actual one. If you see about, let us say, rocket, if you see the rocket launching is happening now, there are so many failures has happened, and then they did it. If you see about Elon Musk, right? He are also doing this, right? But you see how much money he has invested, or how many failures has already happened, right? So it is something like this. So it takes many iterations for one success. Okay, so never get worry about it. You will be getting success one day. Second is the instant success is a myth. If you are thinking that I will do something, I will do this investment, I have a lot of money, I can do all these things, I'm sorry, this is not going to happen. Don't think shortcut. Don't think that I will get instant success. No, it needs hard work. It needs continuous work. You need to have a kind of a mindset that I will be getting success. The persistent is the key. Okay, so that is the second thing. Third is your success might matter more than you think it does. Okay, and the most worthwhile things are not so easy. And the last one is your past doesn't determine your future. Don't think that you have come from a different background, or you have done something, probably you have not scored that great mark in the previous things, or maybe you have failed recently, you cannot do it. It's not that way. Your future and your present is with you in your hand. So you can change the whole world. Don't think about the past, think about the present and the future opportunities. So with this, I want to end my topic. So I would like to have question answer. I would love to interact with you all and understand your questions, or we can discuss more.
Sir, can I questions?
Yes, please.
Sir, what do you mean by entrepreneurs?
Okay. So entrepreneur, as I explained to you, first of all, you all are the entrepreneur. You have already done in your life, right? So what I'm saying is entrepreneur. When I talk about, it's basically the people who organize the business or who brings these innovations and they create the job opportunities for others. That is nothing but entrepreneurial. So there may be so many definitions, but yeah, so that is what I can tell right now.
No idea, sir.
Any other questions? So, okay, if you don't have questions, then let me ask you a question. Can I ask? Okay, so the question is why the most successful. Okay, let me just read that. There was some question somebody sent. Okay, why the most successful entrepreneurs from ITs just like Ola, Nike? Okay, let me tell you this. There are also, it is not always true. Okay, it is not always true. There are also successful entrepreneurs from normal engineering colleges as well. Okay, if you see Paytm, he's not from ITs. There are so many other companies, very good examples are there. It's not that they're always from ITs. Yes, the ITs, they get those opportunities, they get basically what we discussed about. They try to implement, it is not just the theory, they try to implement those ideas with the new technologies. They come up with, they do those kind of innovations, and that is how the entrepreneurship skill is already into it, the innovation is already inside them, so then they come up with the ideas, and then people fund them easily, and then they take it forward from there. So it's kind of they get a good opportunity there to do it, and they do it. It's not necessarily that only they can do it, even you can also do it. That's what I'm trying to tell in the whole session, that you all can be like them. Okay, don't think that only studying in ITs can help you. Even you guys also can become the next entrepreneur, or become the next entrepreneur of like Ola or any other future thing which is going to come up. I hope I answered needs. If you are thinking that you cannot ask the question, getting fear, first of all, remove your fearness. You should talk. Okay, and you can also chat. It's not a problem. You can send your questions on the chat as well. Okay. So how do you see about? Let me ask you the questions. So why you want to do this? Why you want to become engineer? What is your goal in your life? Can I get some answers? So what you want to become? Excellent. So Neep says that I want to do startups. Very good. Any other? I want to be software engineer. Okay. 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 So I could see, okay, some want to do entrepreneurship, some want to do, okay, get better opportunities, software engineer. Okay, I understand. So okay, and I want to be computer science software engineer. Okay. So I can see that, you all want to become software engineer. Okay. But what I just told you, it's not only about the entrepreneurship. Even to become a software engineer, you are going to work on certain technologies, or you want to work on certain products, right? So when you work into these products, if you just imagine, you already have real developed those kind of products on your own, or in your college together, you have done it. So just imagine that what kind of, when there is a competition, because just imagine in a year, how many people all over India, they are actually coming to applying for a job. Now, for a job, when you go to there, when you have the real time experience, when you yourself created those kind of products, you have done those innovation, you have done, you already got entrepreneurship skill, then definitely you will be the best among others, right? So all companies, they want to take you, right? So this is what my advice to all of you, that try to do something which is on real time, which is can be helpful for you guys. Try to bring some change in the whole world. Don't just copy what others are doing. Try to do something great. All right. So any others, any question? I would love to answer. Excellent. Somebody has mentioned that I want to become hacker. Yeah, that's a good skill. But yeah, for that you really need to do something. You really need to learn about hacking. You need to do and try. There are two kind of hacking, right? The ethical hacking and non-ethical. So I'm sure you'll be looking for ethical hacking. So you can also do that. That also can be you can think about building something, but try to find out what is not there in the market, or what is there but it is not that strong, or you are trying to bring some innovation, and then you can really focus into it. How to handle adversity and doubt. Okay, so I'm not sure if I could understand properly, but if you say that if you are coming up with any doubts, if you think, ask me this way, you can definitely there are a lot of resources in the internet you can do. There are lecturers are there who can actually help you in those things. You can reach out to different forums, or you can try to find some mentors who can actually help you in this. All right. Next is Neep says, my first startup will be a big toy industry with artificial intelligence and open a robotics company in India. Excellent. So it looks like you are following to Modi's vision. That's really good. That is actually, if you want to really do that, thing, there is a big market is there, because we see every day that a lot of companies from China, they are coming to India right now, and from Indian government also putting a lot of things so that the taxation, so that they can actually boost the Indian economy. So a lot of opportunities there in those space. What you have mentioned, if you want to try it, it's really a good market. Okay, are the AI bots needs to be registered? Not necessarily it needs to be registered. In fact, we have already a product ourselves. It's called dxbots.ai. So it's not necessarily to be registered. You can create your own bots. But I'm not sure if you talk about a chatbot or you're talking about a real robot. So if it is a hardware related things you are building, then this needs to be registered. Not registered kind of a certification required. And if it is a software bot, you can do it by yourself. There is no need of registration. Okay, if the business won't go on you that you need to have your plan A, plan B, plan C, and you need to think what is the risk and how to mitigate that risk. If you go by that way, and if you better as you are young, so it is better you have somebody as a mentor who can guide you and take you be there with your journey. Okay, I think that way you will be on a safer hand. If I can business in Odisha, for business you don't need to come to Bangalore or US or any other place. Even at your home by sitting where you are right now, you can do that as well. Okay, nice. Any other question? Great. So I think hope you all enjoyed this session, and welcome all of you to the college. And I'm really happy to meet you all. And I wish you all the best for your future success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. I completely agree.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, sir, tomorrow online class timetable for CAC. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, sir.